Hello, friends. This is Christopher Davis-Shannon, and today I am checking in with New York City guitarist and composer Charlie Rauh. Charlie, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me.
Hey, happy to have you on here. Looks like it's nice and sunny up there in New York today.
It is. I haven't been outside yet, but from the view of the window, it does look like a nice one.
It does indeed. I'm rather digging the view. Can you kick us off with a tune?
Yeah, sure. I'll play a song called Patience from my recent record, Here Eighth, that came out on Destiny Records last October.
All right.
So this is a song from that record that's basically about one of my favorite things to do, traveling and being still for long amounts of time, and just the type of things you wind up thinking about when you're on an airplane or a bus or on your way. And now that traveling is not possible anymore, I've been playing this one to myself a lot as I sit in my room. So it has a dual meaning for me right now.
That was a gorgeous piece, Charlie. What was the name of that one again?
Thank you. That one is called Patience. It's the second track on my record, Here Eighth.
Wonderful. Now you're up in New York, kind of in the epicenter of the crisis that's currently going on across the world, but in America as well. So how are you doing up there, man?
I'm personally doing okay. I have a lot to be grateful for with a lot of online teaching and regular remote session work I'm doing for my home studio. I'm fortunate enough to have a decent amount of people interested in hiring me to add to their music, and then teaching for a school part-time that has moved online. So yeah, I'm doing fine. I have nothing to complain about. I'm healthy, and I have a decent stream of work coming in, which is more than a lot of my friends can say. So it's really just dealing with the anxiety of knowing that everything outside of my room is falling apart, but I'm personally doing fine. So I am grateful for that, but yeah, it comes with a pretty heavy weight for sure.
Yeah, bet. But I'm glad to hear that you're doing well. Even just individual stories of positivity are kind of a great thing in this time now, especially in the arts community, where we're certainly in flux as to where things will be going after this period of time, and how we'll be doing our jobs in a very different society, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we continue to make music because that's what life's about. So with that, can you play us another tune?
Yeah, I'll do another one from that record. Which also I've been thinking about a lot recently, because I wrote this one based on, again, traveling and the interactions you have with people and places.
Yeah.
When you see a place or a person for the first time, I myself make little mental notes of like ways to remember them. So with people, like, you know, what color someone's eyes are, or, you know, their body language or how they stand, just like a map to create a memory. So I wrote this song that's called 1117 about that, about making a map to remember a person or a place as you're going from, you know, meeting a lot of different people and seeing a lot of different places. A way to make specifically singular memories instead of just lumping everything together.
Certainly. You faked me out with that ending there, Charlie. I always, I really enjoy your kind of minimalistic approach to composing. There's so much harmonic density going on, but when you listen back to it, it feels very simplistic and thus very soothing. I think, and a lot of your songs kind of just strike me sort of as lullabies, and I've always liked that about your playing. You know, and that said, you have a new record coming out very soon, right?
I do, yeah. On August 28th, again, on my label Destiny Records, I'll be releasing a record called The Bluebell, which is a really special personal project for me. It's based on, I also consider them lullabies. It's a song cycle of lullabies that's inspired by poems by Emily and Anne Bronte, who are two of my favorite writers.
Cool. Is this all solo guitar?
Yes, it's a solo acoustic guitar record, and like my previous record, Here Eighth, I'm really into recording these records myself in inspiring locations. So they're not studio recordings. I bring a portable Pro Tools setup with a condenser mic to different places to record. And this particular one I recorded in my family's house when I went to visit my parents who live in Virginia. The house that I had to play guitar in and spend my young teenage years in. I waited till everyone went to sleep and I set up my recording gear in the living room and recorded the record with the sounds of the house around it, with the creaking and sound of the wind.
That's great.
Yeah, and I wanted to record it there because there's an element of Emily and Anne. I chose the two of them to combine their poems because they had a really special sibling relationship. And my siblings and I are also really close, and they'll be working with me on this project as well. So my sister is a novelist, a fiction writer, and a painter as well. And my brother writes poetry, and they're both extremely talented. So I asked them if they'd want to, for the first time ever as adults, collaborate on a project. And we're all huge fans of the Brontes as well. So what we're going to do is I wrote the songs that coincide with the poems, and I sent it to my brother and sister, and then they're recreating something that Emily and Ann used to do when they were young, known as the diary papers, where they would write and make little art, like doodles, and just write about what was going on, and they would share it with each other, and it was sort of a special thing between the two of them. So my sister is recreating that format, except with conversations between the three of us, the notes that we've given each other, talking about the music and the poems. And then she's gonna illuminate it with her own art, with watercolor paintings. So we're gonna have a limited edition of sort of packages of the diary papers made by my brother and sister. And there'll be 30 limited copies of it that'll be available for pre-order when the record comes out, so a month before it comes out, in lieu of CDs, because they're after those are gone, it'll only be digital, and it'll be available on Destiny Records, Bandcamp, then all streaming platforms.
Cool. That's an incredible concept for a record as well as product. It's great to see musicians doing things besides just here's a record.
Yeah.
In this world, I think people long for more, and it's hard to give them that when we sit in the digital realm so much when we listen to music, but having some special physical product to go along with a release is such a wonderful idea.
Yeah, yeah.
It's certainly something that's so personal to you as well, and sharing that with the world.
Yeah, yeah, and it's a challenge, I feel like, if you're an independent artist, to come up with a way to make a product that's worth somebody's time and worth them paying for. And not just, I think it's wonderful when, people, I've seen a lot of support for myself and other artists. A lot of people are going on Bandcamp pages and showing support by buying music. And I think that's fantastic, and it's much appreciated. But at the same time, something I'm always trying to figure out and really invest my time and energy and whatever skills I do have, is trying to think of a way to create something that, in addition to wanting to be supportive, they actually really just want to buy it too. And making it an actual thing. So they're being supportive, but they're also paying for something they actually do really want. Not that people don't want the music they're buying, but I want to make it something really appealing for people. So that's always the goal with how I'm trying to market my music.
Certainly, yeah, and there's always something to be said for being able to hold a product in your hand versus just hearing it in your ears. And I think that's a hurdle that we've all been trying to cross for probably the last 10 years or so, since digital has really taken over the distribution of music, and trying to toe that line between a physical release doesn't necessarily have to be just music. It can be anything to accompany that music. And it's really wonderful to see people branching out and trying different ideas to get that going. Would you mind playing us one of the tunes from that new record?
Yeah, absolutely. This is a song inspired by one of Anne's poems called The Doubter's Prayer, which is a poem, one of my favorites of hers, where she's basically just talking about all the things that she struggles with, and the depth of her convictions and her personal struggles and her spiritual struggles. And it's just a really touching, moving poem that I've always loved. So the story behind writing it was also pretty interesting. So I was in the Portland airport, the international airport, and I was reading that poem, and I had a lot of time to kill. So I figured I'd get my guitar out and maybe try something out. I had an idea. So I started playing this. I just came up with this melody and I started playing it, and I didn't feel like it was good enough. I didn't feel like it was doing the poem justice. So I was playing it and I was pretty bummed out, and I was getting ready to put my guitar away, and I look up and there's this little girl standing in front of me that's probably no more than 8 or 9. And she just nervously looks at me and says, "I like your song," and then runs away.
You know the rule. If a kid likes it, it's good. Yeah.
And I was like, then I got my phone out and recorded like a voice memo of exactly what I played. I was like, well, now it has to be this. So,
exactly. Yeah. Kids tell the truth. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, so I'll play that one for you. So this will be on the new record, The Bluebell, that'll come out August 28th on Destiny Records.
Charlie, thank you so much. That was beautiful. I really appreciate you coming on and talking to me today and playing a few tunes. For everyone listening out there, just look in the description. I'm going to drop links to all of Charlie's music, including a song that him and I recorded together last time I stopped up in New York. And hopefully we can do that again soon and do some more ukulele and guitar music and get him down to Philly when the world reopens for us all. So Charlie, thank you again so much for doing this. And would you mind just playing us out?
Yeah, totally. Thanks so much for having me again.
Thanks, Charlie.